Hello everyone. Today we are going to see a topic on switching. So before going into switching, what is a network is? Network is nothing but it is a set of connected devices. So assume that there are so many devices out there. So we are connecting with a communication line. So this forms a network where it is a set of connected devices. So now if the device A wants to communicate with device C, we need to have a temporary connection between A and C. One to one, if A wants to communicate with C using one-to-one communication, then we need the concept called switching. So this is where the switching arises. So switching is nothing but it is a device capable of creating temporary connection between two devices. So switch is a device which is capable of connecting a temporary connection between the two devices is called switching. So we can see the diagram for switching. Switching will be like this. So here it is having so many connection lines, and this side also it can have so many connection lines. So we can also say device switch can also be defined as it is a device which connects multiple connection lines together. So if we want to establish a one-to-one communication or temporary connection between the two devices, there arises a concept called switching. So we need a switch in this case. So here we can see one more diagram over here. This is a example for this switching concept. So here what happens is we have so many devices like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. These are all end systems. And we have 5 switches in this network. One is switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4 and switch 5. So here device A wants to communicate with device F. So what happens is that it will send the connection, it will send the message through the switch I, switch 1, and from there it will be sent to 2, 3, and then it will reaches 4. From there it will reaches the device called F. Suppose if the device C wants to communicate with I, so device C will send the message to switch 2, and from there it reaches switch 5, and from switch 5 the device I will receive the message. So what happens is that here switch 2 and 5 will be active when they are sending the message from C to I. So this is an example of switched network. So what is switching? Switching, it is nothing but it is a device capable of creating a temporary connection between the two devices. So it is also be defined as a device which connects multiple connection lines together. So this is the way you have to draw the switch. So this is an example for the switched network. Now let us see the 3 methods of switching. So there are 3 categories of switching. One is circuit switching, other one is packet switching, and third is message switching. So this packet switching is again divided into 2 subcategories. One is virtual circuit approach, and other one is datagram approach. The most common switching used in all telecommunications is circuit switching and packet switching. Message switching is more conceptual than it is practical, so we will not concentrate more on message switching. So in this video, we'll be discussing on circuit switching and packet switching. Next, we will see the topic called switching and TCP/IP layers. Switching can happen at several layers in the TCP/IP protocol suite. So, we will see what type of switching occurs at each layer. Switching at physical layer. So, in the physical layer, we can have only circuit switching. Since there are no packets exchanged at the physical layer, so we will be using circuit switching in the physical layer. Next is switching at data link layer. So coming to switching at data link layer, we will have packet switching. Here in the data link layer, packets, it will be in the form of frames. So packet switching is normally done in case of data link layer. In the packet switching, we will be using virtual circuit approach. So there are two types of packet switching, right? Virtual circuit and datagram approach. So we will be using virtual circuit approach in data link layer. Next is switching at network layer. So here also we will use a packet switching. In this layer, we can use either virtual circuit or datagram approach. So currently the internet uses datagram approach for transmission. Next is last is switching at application layer. So coming to the switching at application layer, here we will have the third concept called message switching. So message switching is used in the application layer. So usually communication in the application layer will occurs in the form of messages. So for exchanging the messages, we will be using message switching. So switching and TCP/IP layers. So in physical layer, we will be using circuit switching, and data link layer, it uses a packet switching, and it uses the concept of virtual circuit approach in data link layer. In network layer, both the approaches can be used, either virtual circuit or datagram approach based on the message. Last, in application layer, we will be using message switching. Now we will see in detail about circuit switched networks. Circuit switched networks, usually it is used in public telephone network. So in all public telephone networks, they are using the concept called circuit switching. Like there will be, if two stations wants to communicate it, then they will be using circuit switching so that they can establish a dedicated path between the two networks or between the two stations. So here a dedicated path will be established between two stations. So now I'll explain you with a simple example. So here you can see a circuit switched network where you have 4 switches, switch 1, switch 2, and then we have here switch 3, and here we have switch 4. So now this switch is having 3 channels. So where 9, that is like 6 devices can able to be communicated with the switch 1. Likewise, switch 2 also can communicate with 6 devices. For our convenient, we have used only devices A and device M. So we have connected only device A and M. Now if this device A wants to communicate with device M, this device A is connected with the switch 1. So the switch 1 is again connected with switch 4, and from this 4 it is connected with switch 3, and from this 3 it will be connected to this end device M. So what happens is that there will be a path will be established from switch A to, that is like end device A to switch 1, and from that to switch 4 to switch 3, and switch 3 to end device M. So the message can be easily transmitted from 1, 4, 3 and then to the device M. Next we will see the three phases of communication. Three phases are, the first one is connection setup, second is data transfer, and third is connection teardown. So coming to connection setup, so what happens is that we'll see with this example. So here when device A wants to communicate with device M, first this device A will send the request to this switch 1, and from that the request will be sent to switch 4, and from here to switch 3, and this request will be sent to device M. After receiving the request may contain the address of the system M. So the request from the system A to system M, that request contain the address of the system M, so that the switch can identify the destination. So the request will be sent through the switch 1, 4 and 3. This is called connection setup. So after this request, now what happens is that the device M will send an acknowledgement again back in the same path. So it will send the acknowledgement whether it will accept. If the acknowledgement has been sent, then it says that it is going to establish, it is willing to communicate with device A. So now acknowledgement will be sent back to switch 3. From there it reaches switch 4, and again it reaches switch 1, and from there it goes to switch A. After which it will establish a communication dedication path is established between A and M. This process is done in connection setup. So after connection setup, now the path is established. Now the data will be transferred between A and M. That is from A to this end device to the end device M, the connection data will be transferred. The last phase is connection teardown. In this connection teardown, if any one of the parties like either A or M wants to disconnect, a signal will be sent to the switch to release the resources or to tear down the connection. This is called your connection teardown. So when any one of the two parties want to disconnect, they will send the signal to the switch. So now the switch will disconnect the connection. So this is what your connection teardown. So in circuit switched networks, so it is used in public telephone, and we will have a dedicated path. It will be established between the two stations, and this is an example for this. There are three phases of communication. One is connection setup, where the connection will be established between the two stations. The next, the data will be transferred, and third is connection teardown. It will disconnect the connection. Now we will see the efficiency of the circuit switched network. Efficiency is minimal when compared to other two switched networks. This is minimal because since a dedicated path is established between the two stations, always the resources will be allocated, will be wasted. So these resources will not be available for other stations. So it is, since the resources allocated are not available to other connections, so efficiency is very low, because since two stations, if they want to communicate, they will be using the entire dedicated path. So until the connection is closed, so other stations cannot able to communicate. So efficiency is low over here. Coming to the delay in circuit switched network, so delay can be explained with this graph. So here this is the device A and this is device B, and we have two switches in between, so it may be any switch. So what happens is that here this device A wants to establish the connection. First it has to send the request from A to switch 1, switch 2, and again it reaches the device B. From B, it will send an acknowledgement. Again, the acknowledgement will be sent back to the switch 2, switch 1, and again it will be sent to A. After getting the acknowledgement, it will create the path. Now the data will be transferred. After sending the transfer, now if they want to disconnect any one of the signal, will send the disconnect connection. So total delay in this circuit switched network is the delay that is needed to connect the connection, and it is required for transferring the data, and the delay for disconnecting the connection. So total delay is the combination of establishing the connection, transferring the data, and disconnecting the connection. This is the total delay. But actually delay in this circuit switched network is low, because actually this here the circuits will not allow any waiting time. There is no waiting time at each switch. So delay will be very minimal when compared to other switched networks. So in this video we have seen in detail about circuit switched network, the diagrams, and we have seen the efficiency and delay of circuit switched networks.